Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, justice is supposed to be blind, correct? What does that mean? That means that regardless who commits the same crime should be punished in the same method, the same way, or should be found guilty. That is, if someone gets engaged in a rape, that person will be charged with rape. If someone else's uncle would engage in the same activity, will get the same penalty for rape and accused of rape. So it's bad in both situations, both examples. Rape, doesn't matter who does it. It is what it is over there and should be punished. So if you are barking for about a year and a half that the Russians are committing war crimes and they're bombarding civilian targets in Ukraine, and that is bad, which is bad, you can't do the same thing. You can't bombard the Russian towns and injure or kill civilians and say, well, it's just something that we do because you do it. Well, that means what? That you endorse their criminal activity? You committing a crime, that you blame someone else for good reason, hey, that's criminal. And you do it and you bring the argument, I'm doing it because he did it to me too. What does it mean? I mean, is that just? By what kind of system? Not even under an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, which, as far as I remember, is not a Christian thing. And as far as I remember, Ukraine is a Christian country, is it? They still have the Ukrainian Orthodox Church and some Catholics over there, aren't they? Okay, so under what kind of principles? You go by the Zelensky? Who are you going by what? What happened here? The Ukrainians attacked with a missile on a city in Russia. Not the one that is contested, in Russia itself. Now, am I upset? I personally don't care. Is there a war? Alright? If I were to just analyze it, yes, it's bad. You shoot at civilians. And if you give me the argument they did the same thing, that makes you bad as well. It would not make you good because you just retaliate like that. So if someone rapes your mom, you're gonna rape his mom and say, yeah, I did it because they did it to my mom. That's not how it works. But anyway, there's a different kind of justice. It's not a Roman justice, but anyway. Russia today the 28th of July 2023. Explosion in Russian city center caused by missile. Taganrov has been hit by a missile with multiple civilians injured, the local government has said. This is a terrorist act, even if those civilians were not killed. Because if you look at the definition of terrorism, is trying to change a political view, political system, have an impact by using terror actions where, you intimidate and you cause destruction and so on. This is a loose definition. Go and check it yourself for the exact one. So where's that town? Right here by Rostov-on-Don. So the war is here and a missile hit right here. You see this? This is, as far as I remember, this is Russia. It's not Ukraine. But nevertheless, you say, wait, didn't the Russians hit Odessa? Didn't the Russians hit Kyiv? Yeah, they did. Didn't they hit Lviv? Yes, they did. Was that good? No. Therefore, this is also no good. But if you say that's good, then maybe, that's why you have wars. One of the reasons. An explosion on Friday in the southwest Russian port city of Taganrog was caused by a missile strike, the government Rostov region has said. The blast rocket rocked the city center, damaging multiple buildings and vehicles. Vasily Golubev said that at least 15 people received mild injuries from the blast fragment and are now being treated by medics. Let's see this if we can. Let's turn it off. I don't know if these guys are going to say some negative stuff, cursing, and then you have YouTube. Oh my God, so awful. Okay, so this seemed to be the outcome of the missile. That's a big missile, but hey, the question is how in the hell they were able to do it with all those air defense systems located, I would say, on the front line. Because if you look here, I mean, I'm assuming to get here, you have to have a lot of air defense systems here, don't you? How in the hell they got so far? Well, they did. Unless it was the Russians who did it by themselves. Therefore, it's a false flag operation. But everything else, Odessa and others, is just the Russians. No flag, false flag operation. Okay. And I'm quoting. In the center of Taganrov, a supposed missile has exploded. Rescuers are at the scene. There are no fatalities, but there are several injured, he wrote on social media. So far there has been no official information on what type of missile used. The projectile left a large crater. Footage from the scene shows spherical pieces of shrapnel believed to have been released by the projectile have reportedly been found at the scene. But let's go to these guys, because these guys are going to cover it as well, and maybe they give us a different piece of information right here. Alright, explosion, at least 15, pop. Ukrainian forces carried out the attack using an S-200 air surface-to-air missile, covered into a surface-to-surface munition, the ministry said in a statement. Here it is. So this is what they say. The Russian Ministry of Defense described this as an incident as a terrorist attack perpetrated by Kiev regime. The missile was detected and destroyed in mid-air by Russian air defense. I don't believe that. Anti-units with debris landing within the city limits. What? Well, I don't think so. That was not a missile just falling over there like a tard. That was not a missile in a crater, just fell over there and destroyed the whole thing. I think it was a real explosion of the thing. It's like the Ukrainians, I think this is the same, media is too big. I think it's the same argument the Ukrainians say when the Russians attack cities. Oh, it's just the fragments of the missiles that destroyed 3 apartment buildings or something. Well, the missile was detected and destroyed in mid-air by Russian air defense units. Okay, yes, I believe that. I don't believe it, my friends. I'm sorry. So a total of 14 people were injured in the attack and 7 of them being taken to hospitals for treatment. Well. How do you call this? Retribution? I don't have to go back to the beginning of this video to tell you about the retribution. That's why we have a different kind of system. You commit a crime, you get punished in a different way. You will kept away, and you go into prison and you build muscles. So when you're released, you can do it with more strength, it seems like, on your money and my money. That's why this needs to be changed. When you go into prison, as I wrote in one of my books that is published, I published on Amazon, I can remember, 1,000 years ago, still there. I said, no, if you are sentenced and you go and do time, serve time, in prison, you should be working over there. You should be paying back what you did. And you're not going to stay over there. I think about 15 years ago, it was about $30,000 per year that the government, the taxpayers, had to pay these guys that were convicted to be kept away from us as a punishment for whatever they did. And in the meantime, they and then get out. And when they get out, he's going to commit something else. It's going to be harder to be restrained. So no, you can't do that. You can do that, but you will be working over there. You pay your expenses, buddy. And I think that's only just. Why should I pay it? For something you committed. Since when? No. You pay for it. You're going to be working, not like a slave or something. I'm not implying that. Enough for you to pay your expenses. Your shower, hot shower, good food, guards keeping you around, property taxes. I don't think those guys pay, but I think they do. And many other, TV, cable, telephone, tra-la-la, clothes, all those things are paid by someone. Why should I be charged for you committing a crime? No, you, buddy, you do it. So the same here, my friends. However you want to take it with this was a terrorist act. If the Russians committed terrorist acts against Ukraine and criminal acts and war crimes, well, I think this one really qualifies as something similar, doesn't it? And again, you can't punish with the same thing. I mean, because if you rape someone for raping someone, he might like it. Therefore, you don't do that. You know what I mean? So if someone rapes someone and you say, okay, you raped someone, we're going to rape you, even if you're going to find candidates to do it, the criminal might like that. So there's not going to be actually a punishment. You got what I say? Okay. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.